Support for this episode comes from Modern Football Technology. Modern Football Technology provides real-time opponent tendencies and self-scout while eliminating manual data entry into Huddle, DV Sport, and Exos. If you're tired of tools that are time-consuming to learn and perform inconsistently at best, then we recommend Modern Football for a fresh perspective. Schedule a demo today at teammofo.com to see a battle-tested tool that's proven to perform and deliver value. Mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code CC10 to receive 10% off your first year. And listen to our recent episode featuring Folsom High School Defensive Coordinator Jordan Ersick to learn more about how the 2023 California State Champion uses modern football to dominate their opponents.
The whole premise is get the damn ball back. Creating a defense that goes after the ball is culture. And the only way you can create any culture is to do it every single day.
Today's Coach and Coordinator Podcast is a segment from the Lawrence First and Goal Clinic in which Scott Shafer, Defensive Coordinator at Middle Tennessee State, shares his philosophy on creating turnovers. This is just a short segment, but I think there's some good takeaways from this one. I think you really want to pay attention to the things that Coach Shafer does. The coaching points and philosophies shared by him really helped him improve in this area, and Middle Tennessee State's been one of the best at creating turnovers under Coach Shafer's leadership. It's a skill developed through hard work, dedication, and the right mindset, and that's what he shares in this. The little things that they do that it really becomes ingrained in their culture, and then in turn, that translates to the performance they're looking for on the field. So enjoy this one with Coach Shafer. Check the show notes for the link to this entire talk. I highly recommend it. What you see on tape is a direct reflection of what you teach and how you teach. Video is important, but if you don't teach well, you're not going to like what you see on your video. First Down Playbook has been helping coaches teach better for 13 years. It allows you to present installs, playbooks, and practice cards in half the time with NFL quality. Coaching tools like video pairing, a player app, practice schedules, and wristband sheets have made First Down Playbook a program management system with everything in one place. If you're in a position of leadership with your football program, receive a free 1-week look at First Down Playbook. Call them at 512-814-6158 or visit them on their website or social media. Mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code COACH24 to receive a $100 discount off the normal $700 First Down Playbook team membership price. Links and the phone number are in the show notes. As coaches, we know that some of the biggest hurdles to our team's success can come from off the field. Your team needs support to tackle the endless list of expenses, uniforms, training equipment, travel, and more. But raising that money can feel like a full-time job. Thankfully, there's Vertical Raise. Vertical Raise is the premier online fundraising platform using innovative technology to create the easiest and most efficient system available. Raise more money in less time with a local fundraising coach who works with your team every step of the way to customize the ideal fundraiser. With options for online donations, digital discount cards, premium product sales, and even spirit shops, Vertical Raise has top-of-the-line solutions for every fundraising style. To find out more, visit verticalraise.com and we'll get you connected with an exclusive offer on your first fundraiser.
Great to be part of such a good cause. And what we want to do this morning for all you early birds is talk a little bit about getting the ball back and forcing turnovers. For us, it's been something we've worked on hard throughout the course of time. And the last few years, thanks to our coaches and good players, we've been able to be tops in the country in a lot of those categories, both getting the ball back either by interceptions and fumbles and or scoring touchdowns on defense. And I think for me, the biggest thing has been knowing how important it is, making sure that we sacrifice the time to get good at it. And it kind of goes back to, when you're a defensive coordinator, you have to make a lot of choices. And sometimes it comes down to more scheme or more technique. And, in this illustration, The technique is probably the most important thing in our opinion. And so what we do is we do our due diligence to take a lot of time and practice and pre-practice to get good at the techniques of it. And it showed up. It showed up on tape. And those are some of the things we're going to talk about today. And the way it'll go here is basically what we do in pre-practice, and then what we do in practice individual time, and then some of the things that we do on Thursdays in season and Fridays in season as we go through this whole thing. So as you get going here, the way it'll go is we call it our ball disruption circuit. We do almost every day. And what we do is we get out on a practice field and we basically have a scoop and score, a lawnmower, a hoop sack fumble drill, a match hands, an Air Jordan, and a bat the ball down drill, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. And then after that, we have a circuit turnover situation we do a couple times a week. And like a lot of you, we do some of the same drills, I'm sure. We call it a stumble punch from behind, an interception drill, a peanut punch, and then a cup it drill, which really has nothing to do with turnovers other than taking shots and forcing things to happen fast in the way we tackle. So I want to start with those types of things. So as you can see right here, it's all about getting the ball back. We talk to our kids about the whole premise is get the damn ball back. Creating a defense that goes after the ball as a culture. And the only way you can create any culture is to do it every single day. So as we go through this whole thing, you'll see some of these things pronounced, and bear with me here. So this is just talking about some of the things we've done in the last couple years. Bunch of turnovers and a bunch of takeaways and a bunch of touchdowns over the last couple seasons. Last season was we had 30 total takeaways, 20 interceptions, 10 fumbles. I think in the last 2 years we had 62 turnovers and a bunch of touchdowns out of it too. We talk a lot about scoring when we get the ball back too. We don't want to just hand it back to the offense, but we'd like to put points up on the board on defense. And, we tell the kids, let's go for that ball and try to score. All right. So it starts and ends with our players. The whole key is, well, coach, what do you do to create all these turnovers? And really what it comes down to is recruiting players that make plays. And it sounds simple, but it's the truth. Players make plays. We can sharpen their skill sets and work at things. But at the end of the day, we want to recruit guys that do it. We're looking for guys that can run, guys that are multi-sport athletes. I love basketball players, baseball players, guys that play the outfield, know how to play the ball, multi-sport players that are always competing throughout the course of their time in high school. And I think when you get those guys, they naturally make plays, and all you're trying to do is fine tune and kind of refine their skill sets. We talk a lot about effort, as everybody. I think that effort is one of the things that is neglected a little bit. Everybody talks about it, but do you really take the time to force the kids to practice with great effort? And it's hard because you got a 25 play script and you want to get all 25 plays. But if on play 17, the kids aren't playing as hard as they're supposed to, and they're not playing with the discipline with regards to effort, both mentally and physically, you got to stop that. You got to stop that drill and say, we'll be okay with 18 plays as long as those 18 plays are such that we practice with the right type of tempo and effort. So we try to do a lot of turnover drills that start off with low impact, because what we're trying to do is create that muscle memory. I think if you go 3 or 4 times at slower speed before you go full speed, you create a situation where the kids naturally get a feel. They get that kinesthetic feel for how it feels to scoop properly, how it feels to make a proper interception with your hands out in front and up high, and all those things we talk about. By slowing it down, you create an opportunity for them to have success and create that muscle memory. We talk a lot about working hard to affect the quarterback directly in turnovers. Most of our turnovers, especially when it's passes down the field, when you see us make interceptions, there's usually something that happened up front, whether it's a good job by our front four caging the quarterback and not giving him lanes to throw through. We talk a lot about presenting no room to see and no room to step up. A lot of guys with great effort will get out of their lanes, will get out of their gaps at times when rushing the passer. and end up behind the quarterback, which is the worst place to be. So there's a lot to turnovers that go with technique, not just in how to finish the play on the ball, but how to force that ball to come out in different angles and give ourselves chances to get the ball back. For us, our kids understand both zone and man coverage, and they understand the difference between whether we're going to play zone coverage with pressure or zone coverage without pressure, man coverage with pressure, or match coverage without pressure, and understanding the timing and the tempo of the plays within the scheme that can help affect baiting quarterbacks to throw the ball in holes that we kind of show them, and then we squeeze it off. For instance, a low hole cover 2, teaching the corner to play with tempo and bait throws into that zone and still have the ability to make plays in it. So those are some of the things we talk a lot about. But I think the biggest thing is that the kids understand that the culture is such that it is what we do on defense. You know, Coach Stockstill does a great job. He's always asking us what we need. He installed a bunch of footballs on those big springs in the complex here. So every day our defensive guys go by those things. They're always ripping at it. So it's constantly, once they walk in the building, in the weight room or in our meeting rooms, it's constantly on their mind, which I think is a big part of creating that culture. Now, if you look at this next slide, I think every defensive coordinator and every offensive coordinator in the country has some sort of a slide like this. And basically, it starts off with the data, and the numbers don't lie. And what we're looking at here is if you get +3, you got a 90-some% chance to win. If you're +2, you're sitting at 84%. And if you're +1 in the turnover ratio, you got a 67% chance to win. So we're promoting that every day. And then anything below that's not good enough. So, it works together. It works in unison with our offense. So we talk about that in our football and intelligence meetings throughout the course of the summer. And our coaches will get up. And this is one of the things that I always take a lot of pride in, our offense and defense and special teams guys understanding just how important it is to get that ball back and how our chances of winning go way up when we do that. This screen right here is just our, what we call our war board. This goes all the way back to when I was about 24, 25 years old. And I've tweaked it a little bit, but for the most part, it stayed the same. And that's probably for another discussion. But what we're looking at there is just always trying to improve in those areas, just like all of you guys are. Okay, here's what I was talking about before. So we call this our ball disruption circuit. And this is what we do pre-practice. We do a scoop and score. And this is all at about half speed. We do a scoop and score drill, a lawnmower strip, a hoop drill where we're going for the quarterback sack with the strip. And then we do a match hands, break arm drill. And then we do Air Jordan and batted ball. So let's take a look at these drills and hopefully you guys can get something out of this.
Here are winning edge takeaways and ideas for implementation. So 1, what's your focus? If it's truly a focus, you have to find every way you can to make it part of what you do. Players need to live it. Whether it's putting a ball on a spring in every position room to emphasize ripping at the ball or being willing to sacrifice a team rep for more time on takeaway technique, Coach Shafer believes in it and teaches his team to live it, and the results are seen on the field. 2, Jim Tressel used to say in clinic talks, what gets measured gets managed. Coincidentally, Coach Shafer, Coach Tressel, and me are all Baldwin-Wallace graduates. Coach Shafer said he put together his chart when he was 24, and he keeps it every year. His teams excel at turnovers, and again, this goes back to the focus and something that he's constantly measuring. Number 3, don't do it because everyone does it. Do it because it works for you to accomplish your objectives. We get caught up in a lot of clinic talk. We do things that other teams are doing. Everything looks great in a clinic because, frankly, everything that's shown in a clinic works for at least for the team that's showing it. You have to do what you can do to make it work for you. Then it really becomes part of who you are. Coach Shafer's entire talk is available on CoachTube and supports Lauren's First and Goal. Again, I highly recommend this course. Follow all we're doing at coachandcoordinator.com. You can get our enhanced show notes there, which include our winning edge takeaways detailed in text. You can sign up for our newsletter, which gives you the best tips from the previous week. Follow us on Twitter as well, at Coach K. Grabowski.